Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Will. And this is our 2017 Focus ST ST2 pack. And if you saw one of my recent videos with the Evo, you know that this is my own private road. Not really, it's just near my house and closed for obvious reasons. The road is horrible. The first video I did on this road, I wasn't quite sure who could get through, but I'm in a spot right now where nobody can come. And if they do, I will see them coming from a long distance. So, you saw the title, Living with the Focus ST Day to Day. I did a video like this with the Evo, and you know I hate that question. I don't think it makes sense. Yes, you can live with this car day to day. Why would you not be able to? They're still making them, or they may have just stopped making them. So I mean, it's essentially a brand new car. Of course you can live with it day to day. What I more mean in this video specifically is, as an enthusiast, can you live with this as your one and only vehicle? You know, it's gonna do everything for you and still be fun. That's a question that's different than strictly, can you daily drive a Focus ST? If you follow my videos, you know that I daily drive an Evo 8 RS, which has nothing. Has no power locks, windows, mirrors, sound deadening, all that fun ABS stuff, none of that stuff. Essentially, when we bought this car, now this is my wife's daily, and when looking for a car for her, I wanted something that obviously met her needs of what she wanted, which was something that was modern, had modern amenities and features, that was not slow. That was actually a specification of hers as well, not just me. And that also, you know, had something more to it than just not slow. I mean, the new Camry is not slow. I mean, they have like 300 horsepower. Wanted something that was just a little bit more performance oriented, and we came up with the Focus ST. So when shopping for a car, what we were looking for, or at least what I was looking for specifically, was a turnkey car. Now generally turnkey means something else, but what I mean by turnkey is it had enough power and enough features right off the bat, a decent stereo, decent seats, overall decent driving composure, to where as her car and a car that I'm going to drive occasionally, I didn't feel like it needed anything changed immediately or if ever. That was the goal. There are cars out there that kind of fit that bill, but I would have felt like they needed changes right away. This wasn't one of them. So what do I mean specifically? Well, if you're wanting a modern car, you know, what are some things that you look for? Your list may be different, but for us, some of the biggest things were LED lights, which this has, bigger wheels and brakes, which it has, a decent sounding factory audio system, which it more than has. In fact, it's one of the better ones, you know, from like I guess, a audiophile perspective. Maybe the ISF stereo was a little bit better. But just overall, like, I have no complaints with that stereo for a car stereo. Nice seats, which I've got my issues with these seats after owning them, but you know, the Recaro seats, they're not the most aggressive seats that Recaro makes for manufacturers, although they are actually, like, the bolstering is super tight. Way better bolstering than my Evo, and I'd argue possibly even better bolstering than my Evo 10 was. A nice looking interior. Now, some cars just look bad in photos, but some just look bad in general. I'm looking at you, Volkswagen, with your plaid and all that stuff. So the interior on this car was a big selling point. You know, I think Ford did a really good job. I know not everybody's a fan of the all black, and this dash is terrible. But overall, and then the black headliner was a nice touch that even Mitsubishi never did. So it's a nice place to spend time in. Again, my issues with the seats aside. Now, there are some things. The wife has never been a fan of these wheels. I don't hate them. I don't think they're like amazing looking, but she's never liked them at all. I think they're way better than the alternative wheels that Ford offered. She kind of disagrees with me on that. And then, you know, the 17s, I don't know what year it was. I think it was like 16 or 15. They redesigned the front end. I like this front end a lot better than the earlier ones that looked kind of more smiley. Got a thing with smiles. Don't like them. And it's got some other nice features. You know, it's got the sunroof. The headlights turn when you're driving. This doesn't have it, but you can get heated seats as an option if you get the full leather seats. And most importantly, it has the 6-speed manual, which is quite nice, honestly. I mean, it's a light clutch. It's very pleasant to drive. There's no issues there. Even my stock Evo clutch is way heavier than that clutch. Speaking of nice touches, it also has the flat bottom steering wheel, which is, most people will consider it gimmicky. I like it though. Way better, again, way better looking than the first generation STs. So, from a car guy's perspective, or a car person if you're a car girl, where I'm at now in my life, if this was my only car and I was going to keep it long term, I was driving this every day, I'd have to get at least a catback exhaust, I think. I've heard several Focus STs around me drive by, and a lot of them I don't love the sound of them, honestly. So I don't know what exhaust they're running, but it's just so, the car is just so quiet. It's even hard to get it to pick up in video. In person, it does have a little bit of a throat to it when it drives away. It's not bad, it's just very quiet. Hopefully the mic picks it up. I did a couple drive-bys. I don't know if it will or not. And really, I mean, that's about it. I think for me personally, from a comfort standpoint, even though these seats are well bolstered, I would have, if I was driving this car every day, I would have to either swap these seats out or, I don't know, adjust them somehow, I'm not sure. And you know, that's just me. You may not experience that issue with the seats. I'm just like a weird height where it like pinches right in where my knee bends and just kind of makes things uncomfortable. If you're shorter or taller, you know, it just may not be an issue at all to you. At which point I think the seats are fine. I know they're not as good as the Euro spec. I wish I never knew those existed. But they look great and they feel pretty good. Minus the leg thing, like sitting in them, like not having to drive, they feel awesome. So, and you know, we test drove a lot of the cars in this price range, and trust me, when you test drive, you know, the Mazda 3, the Corolla, I don't know, all the other, the Civic and everything, and then you get in this and realize this is the same price, so much more car for the money. It's amazing. Even got push button start, which some of those other cars may have had. Obviously none of them had anywhere near the performance of this though. Let's go for a drive. Oh, finally got a car coming. And you can kind of see why this road is closed. I mean, this is just dreadful. How can you be this bad at making a road? Oh yeah, they're turning around. I don't know, I mean, it says road closed. Why would you come down here? I came down here on purpose, but I don't know. Anyways, let's go for a little bit of a drive and come up with some closing thoughts. You know, nice things like CarPlay matter when you're looking at a car like this. Now, if you're some guy who's, or girl, and I don't know, you know, this is gonna be your only car and you're trying to get the most performance out of the money, but you don't want to do something that's 10, 15 years old, like an Evo, which I understand. You know, you could go with some cars that maybe aren't as old as the Evo. You're not going to get anywhere near the features and stuff. And I didn't really care about that stuff, and I still really don't. But if you're car shopping, it's hard to ignore some of the advancements that this car has. I mean, Ford put a lot in this car. I mean, even if you look at something like a Mazda Speed 3, which, you know, they were making those up to 2013, so they're not that far out of the game, and it's a huge difference. I mean, the things you can get, the keyless entry, you know, where you just go up and touch the door, it does that. Little things like that, CarPlay, which CarPlay was a big thing. I wouldn't say a selling point, but it was something that I was really happy to have in the car. I think it's the best thing out there. I'm not in love with it. So I definitely, none of these features would be a deal breaker for me. But added up all together, I mean, it's hard to argue with this car. It really is. And I know I've made a lot of videos in the past, and I know we're talking about selling it. But that really isn't anything specifically to the car. That's more just what we're personally looking for. I already know the first comment I'm going to get is, I need all-wheel drive, so I bought a WRX. First of all, I don't believe you. Second of all, no, it's mostly just that I don't believe you thing. You don't need all-wheel drive. I don't know where you live. If you live somewhere where there is that much snow that you need all-wheel drive, then you probably just need an SUV. And we're just going to skip the WRX altogether. For the rest of you who don't live in the mountains, which is the vast majority of you, or maybe don't live near lake effect snow, if you're going to tell me that you need all-wheel drive, then I'm going to say that you are a terrible driver. Put some snow tires on a front-wheel drive car and tell me you can't drive in the snow. You can. It's fine. You can put rear-wheel drive on a Mustang and drive in the snow. And we've seen those videos. We know they can't even drive on dry pavement. But trust me, in snow, with some good snow tires, not all season crap, actual snow tires, you'll be fine. Second argument I'm going to get is rear-wheel drive is the only type of real performance car. No, it's not. And more importantly, this isn't a real performance car. This is a car with a performance variant. And that's what this is. You're not going to find a 4-door car that seats 5 anywhere near this price range unless it's like an AMG or an M3, at which point you've got a whole nother basket of things to be concerned about. So those two arguments I find invalid, and go ahead and post them anyways, but I don't believe them. Do I prefer all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive? Sure. But again, you have to realize this is a compromise car. Now, as somebody who's daily driven a Mustang back in the day, even when I was like 19, 18, 17, like high school age, a little bit above high school, I can tell you that something like this is way more easier to live with. You know, having 4 doors and being able to sit more people and haul more stuff when you want to. Again, you know, it's a compromise car. Oh, well, hi. What happened? And then what? I know, boy. All right, with that, hope you enjoyed the video, got some usefulness out of it. Comment below with what you thought. Like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to follow along. The pups do have their own channel now, so you can definitely subscribe to them. I'll put their links below as well. Other than that, appreciate you guys as always. And we will see you on the next video. You all calm now?
Lotus.
You all calm now?